I'm Yensi with a New York 1 Minute. An early morning shooting in Manhattan leaves 2 teenagers hospitalized. Both were shot in the back and are expected to survive.
You're being accused of steering public dollars towards donors. What's your response?
I know who I am. I sleep very well with myself, and I can't be bought off.
That's right. At least 9 people were injured in this home explosion, and unfortunately, most of the people injured are children. I want to give you a sense of just how impactful this explosion was. What you're seeing is a front door that was literally blown off of the hinges.
So, Zach, DeRosa had a big role in the state council when it comes to dealing with women and girls. Can you talk a little bit about how that role may be in conflict with the allegations against Cuomo?
Nova Felder of Queens flew to Ghana in March. It was supposed to be a 17-day trip to the country where his parents were born. But on March 13th, Ghana's president closed the borders indefinitely and halted all flights to and from the country to curb the spread of the coronavirus. 4 months later, Felder is still there.
I think there's not an urgency on the part of the State Department to get us back.
Felder says he knows of 4 charter flights arranged by the U.S. Embassy in Ghana to evacuate U.S. citizens and those with U.S. green cards. He says all were arranged on short notice and quickly sold out. The demand for seats far outstripping the supply.
I'm still an American citizen. I'm an expat, and I need to be able to get home. I have my family in the States. I have my other financial interests in the States. I really need to get home.
Nelson Danquah lives in the Tracy Towers in the Bronx, an area known as Little Ghana. He says many of the Americans stranded in Ghana are becoming desperate.
People are on the street now. They don't have money, no food, no place to stay. Some of them were in hotels. Their stuff have been confiscated because they can't pay the hotel bill. Where is the American government?
Back in June, Danquah and other Americans petitioned Ghana's foreign ministry for permission to fly to neighboring Togo and fly home from there. When they reached the border, Togo would not let them in. Danquah says the Ghanaian travel agency that booked the trip charged $3,000 a person, but is refusing refunds. Danquah and Felder say the community of stranded Americans who are black believe the State Department would not treat white Americans the same way.
Only black people here. Black Americans are among us, not only Ghanaian Americans. 840. And we still don't have an embassy to go to. Nobody is helping us.
We just want the support as if we were, marooned in China or marooned somewhere in Europe. We want the same treatment, and we just want the State Department to live up to their mission.
A State Department spokesman tells us the department is entrusting its embassy in Ghana to help the stranded Americans, explaining, quote, "We have no way of knowing in Washington, D.C. what's going on in Ghana." But the Americans in Ghana say that when they go to the embassy, it's always closed, and guards tell them to go to the embassy's website to register and check for updates.
It's high time that the U.S. government, that the State Department stop passing the buck to an embassy that is not at the head or at the seat of the decision making.
The State Department says there have been 7 repatriation flights from Ghana, far fewer than from many other countries. It does not appear there will be more flights from Ghana anytime soon. The website of the U.S. Embassy in Ghana says, quote, "Currently, there are no U.S. government chartered or funded repatriation flights scheduled, nor is the U.S. Embassy in Accra aware of any other flight opportunities to the United States." Amy Yensi, New York 1.
Officials have not determined a cause for the building's collapse, but a 2018 report says the building had, quote, "major structural damage to a concrete slab below the pool deck." The engineering report released by the city did not warn of imminent danger, but said extensive and costly repairs were needed to fix these issues. It said the waterproofing under the pool deck had failed, preventing water from draining off. The same engineering firm was also conducting detailed inspections as part of the building's 40-year recertification process. It wasn't clear whether the issues they laid out were even dealt with or if they had any role in the collapse. Officials say they have seen no evidence of a sinkhole, which are more common in other parts of Florida, or any criminal activity such as a bomb. Other officials believe the collapse could have been caused by sinking ground due to rising sea levels in South Florida, or by salt water corroding its steel and weakening its concrete. Police are searching for the person responsible for a bank robbery in the Bronx. It happened yesterday just after 4 p.m. at a Chase Bank on 161st Street in West Concourse. Police say this person entered the bank and displayed a note demanding money. The alleged robber made off with $800 in cash. If you have any information, you can contact Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-577-8477. You can remain anonymous. Right now in the Bronx, the NYPD and Bronx District Attorney are holding a gun buyback event. You can turn in your weapons, no questions asked, at Christ Church on Forest Avenue in Morrisania. You'll receive a $200 prepaid card for an operable or inoperable handgun or assault rifle, and a $25 card for rifles, shotguns, and air guns. Those who turn in an operable handgun or assault rifle will also get an iPad. Those are one per person and subject to availability. The event runs until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Grab your swimsuit and some sunscreen and get ready to hop in. The city's outdoor pools are open for the season today. It's going to be a whole lot different than last summer, but there are still some COVID rules you need to be aware of. New York One's Alyssa Palicelli is really diving into the story. As you can see, she's in the pool at McCarran Park in Brooklyn to tell us so much more. Alyssa, I see a lot of people there. It seems like everybody had the same idea you did.
Tonight, Amy Yensi has exclusive details in tonight's Hour Changing City report.
Some Bronx activists are trying to block an affordable housing complex called Blondell Commons on this former junkyard. Although 2 community boards opposed the project as too big, the city council unanimously approved it, along with $1.4 million in funding, after the local councilman Mark Jonai endorsed it. Now Jonai is facing criticism after Crain's New York revealed his campaign received $11,000 from people related to the owners of Exact Capital, the developer.
You're being accused of steering public dollars towards donors. What's your response?
I know who I am. I sleep very well with myself, and I can't be bought off.
New York One learned Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. received nearly $12,000 in campaign donations from 2014 to 2017 from Exact Capital co-owner Craig Livingston, his wife, and relatives of the other owner. Diaz signed off on the project in January. He declined multiple requests for an interview.
I don't run away. I don't hide. I address things head on.
Jonai says he took into consideration the community concerns and got the developer to shrink the project size, add a parking garage, space for a school, and reduce rents.
I was not a supporter of it, but I crafted this into something that would benefit the community.
When we asked his office in January whether he had received campaign donations from the developers, a spokesman told us no.
So you didn't knowingly deceive me?
Hell no. Hell no. There would be no reason for me to deceive you or anyone else. It's not who I am.
Jonai's office later told us a staffer made an error while searching campaign records. Meanwhile, the activists have launched an online petition demanding Council Speaker Corey Johnson revoke the project's funding.
Corey Johnson needs to stop these funds. This is a project that the community adamantly opposed.
A council aide tells New York One the council vigorously vetted the project and, quote, worked closely with the community to bring badly needed affordable housing.
So now he's following me around.
Teddy Monty is behind the wheel and the camera as he drives down Shore Road. In the side view mirror, another vehicle close behind. He says the driver in that car was behind him for more than a mile, presumably following him. Angry that Monty snapped pictures of it illegally parked and displaying this parking placard issued by the Uniformed Firefighters Association to members of the FDNY.
We've got the placard that belongs to his son, who's a firefighter, that he's using without any regard.
Monty sharing these photos only with New York One that he took of the car, which was double parked on City Island Avenue, the main road in and out of the community. Eventually, the driver confronted Monty, who is gay, with crude sexual language.
Your day will be coming, bro, one day.
My day's coming, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
You're a typical.
I took it as a threat, borderline on a hate crime, using my sexuality against me.
Monty identifies the driver as Frank Seebeck, like Monty, a resident of City Island, and the two have at least one mutual friend. We went to Seebeck's house, and he told us he did nothing wrong.
No, I wasn't using plaque illegal, and I wasn't, he was screaming and yelling at me, and then he turned the thing on to record me. That's it.
So he's saying that you were at a coffee shop and using the placard illegally.
No.
We did not see a placard in the car during our visit. The misuse of government parking passes has become a contentious issue in the city and is the subject of a Twitter account, Placard Corruption. The number of placards issued by the city has expanded under Mayor de Blasio, but his administration recently announced a plan to crack down on drivers abusing them. As part of the mayor's new reforms, laminated placards like this one will be replaced with something more like this. Barcoded stickers that go on windshields and are difficult to remove. The paper placards will be phased out by 2021 so that only authorized vehicles can use the parking perk.
Do you think it's fair to use a placard if you're not in the FDNY yourself?
Yes, I do.
Why, sir?
Oh, go away, please.
In the Bronx, Amy Yensi, New York One.